Any resistance that we feel in our life comes from a place of not being present in the moment. And if we're feeling like we're having a hard time on our journey, that's a reflection of our own expectations making it hard. Who's to say what's right and what's wrong, or how we're supposed to get to our end destination? Any feelings of failure that you have, it actually is adding to a deeper level of understanding of yourself. Whatever difficult time you're going through, that this is actually a seasoning for your character. This is a seasoning for your soul. Hey, welcome to today's video. My name is Amara. I wanted to make this video today talking about the number one mistake you want to avoid while you're on your healing journey. And it's gonna be impatience. So I've been on my own healing journey for about 2 years now, just really focusing on my health, my businesses, my finances. And recently, and also some people in my life also have been going through kind of a rough patch in this journey of just trying to improve themselves and get past certain blockages in our lives. And one thing that I've noticed that we're all kind of struggling with is this expectation of things happening right now. Whether that be we're on like a healing journey with our diet and our health, or it might be a financial thing with our businesses, our job, our work, our finances. So in this video, I wanted to talk about some of the most common things, like thought traps that we get kind of stuck in when it comes to working on our goals or dealing with just frustrations or difficult times in life. And then ways to overcome those thought patterns, or those ways to transform those thoughts. And then at the end, I want to give you some practical tips to actually implement into your life that can help you through these hard times. And so, yeah, let's get right into the video. So I think the first thing that we really need to talk about is the root cause of negative emotions. Negative emotions are a direct reflection of our own inner resistance to the present moment. I think a lot of times our resistance to our external environment comes from a place of our not knowing how to be present in this very moment. Whether it be with like a business deal that might not be going exactly as planned, or it's with your health and you're starting to feel like, you don't want to stick to the diet, or whatever it may be. Maybe you're in relationship to other people. Whatever issues we're experiencing, I think the first thing that we have to do is to be very, very, very present in the moment. And that takes a level of detachment from your emotions and from the external environment. Is just look at everything that's going on objectively and say like, okay, this is my current circumstances. This is what I've contributed to this situation. This is what the environment is, feeding back to me, whether it's a person, place, or thing, right? And just be very, very, very present with those facts. I think sometimes we can get kind of swept away in our emotions or our desires or our immediate want of something. That's what creates so much resistance and makes any problem that we have even worse, because we're like really, really wanting a certain outcome, or we're hoping to be at the end, but we're right here, right now. We're feeling that separation. So the first thing we have to do is just be very present and look at things objectively. Where you stand in this moment and all of the facts of the environment around you. Any resistance that we feel in our life comes from a place of not being present in the moment. All negative emotions is resistance to the present moment that we have. So we have to be, one, objective to understand what's going on in the situation, and then two, to bring that full awareness into the moment with love and gratitude. We have to have a little bit more appreciation for this moment, because every moment that we're in is just going to be positive feedback for us to grow from. So having that level of awareness. So when we are sitting with ourselves and just looking at the situation objectively, giving ourselves that grace to be patient and know that we're going to get through this in the end. At the end of the day, the situation will be resolved. At the end of the day, we will overcome whatever this problem is. Regardless, it works out actually in our favor always. So just being very, very present with whatever situation that you're in, just knowing that is number one. So I think overcoming feelings of failure is a really, really, really big one, especially when we are on our healing journey, or we're having difficult times in life, or whatever it may be. I think that our internal expectations of what things should be trump what the present moment is offering us as a lesson to get to that end result. Let go of outside expectations and even release our own expectations of what we think this situation should have been or should be like. We ain't never did this before, okay? So whatever you're going through, just know that this is your first time in this particular experience, or maybe it's not, but it's the fact that we have these external expectations that we kind of hold up here to what we think things should be. And if we're feeling like we're having a hard time on our journey, that's a reflection of our own expectations making it hard. Who's to say what's right and what's wrong, or how we're supposed to get to our end destination, others than maybe our own expectations or the expectations of people around us? But I think that when we give ourselves grace to let go of those expectations and fully embrace the situation that we have at hand, we are able to understand that our story is very unique to us, not going to be linear. My healing journey is not going to look the same as her healing journey or as his healing journey, right? So having these expectations of how it should be or how long it's taking is just removing ourselves from the present moment and putting outside influences at the core of our being, which is not right. So be very, very graceful with yourself in that. Any failures that we're also feeling, just know this gets added to the chest of knowledge for us. This is just going into the bank of like, okay, well, that doesn't work, or this doesn't work, right? Add it to your own knowledge of yourself and getting to know yourself on a deeper level as well. This is how I act when I'm frustrated. This is what happens when I don't know the next step or the next answer, or I've been in a cycle of the same recurring theme, right? This is just all knowledge that goes into a better awareness of ourselves, other people, and situations. So this is actually for our benefit. So any feelings of failure that you have, it actually is adding to a deeper level of understanding of yourself. So always keep that in mind as well. I think we get really hard on ourselves. We are our own worst critics. We see things way, way more in detail than anybody else will. And I think that that also leads to this like impatient or unloving way of treating ourselves. So just be very patient with yourself when you're having a hard time, or you're not feeling like you are where you want to be at the end. Just know that your journey is unique to you, and that this path is uniquely crafted. All challenges are uniquely crafted to you and your level of experience and the lessons that you need to learn. So just like I said, be very objective about what's happening. See yourself with a little bit of a level of detachment, and also give yourself a lot of grace too. So, okay. And then the third thing that I wanted to touch on when it comes to going through hard times and difficulty, and one of the common mistakes that we all make, is getting impatient with slow results. Every lesson that we go through is going to be cyclical in nature. So you might feel like you've already been here before, you've already had this lesson before, or you don't know why you're experiencing this in this way. You thought you were past it, or you should be somewhere else. Like I said, these kind of things are going to be really, really important for you and your particular growth. And certain lessons will come back in a cyclical nature. Things are not ever just linear. Things don't ever just go straight and narrow. That's not the path of life. That's not how life works. Everything is cyclical in nature. So there will be things and themes that reoccur. And the better you are at being objective and loving towards yourself, even when you're having a hard time, there will be a time where this lesson represents itself to you for you to be able to show that you've learned the lesson or that you haven't. And so the more resistance you have to the lesson right now will make it harder in the future for you to actually move past whatever lesson or blockage that you're having right now. One of the images that I love so much is this picture of this guy like digging for gold. And it's two guys digging for gold, and one guy is like right on the edge of gold and he gives up, and the other guy literally strikes gold and he's over there enjoying but the guy that gave up didn't even know how close he was to actually having a breakthrough. And so that's one thing that I always kind of give myself grace in whenever I'm having a hard time, just in life in general. You're always right on time. You're always right on the edge of overcoming something. And it really is actually not even a matter of separation. It's a matter of mindset. If you feel like your goal is on the other side, like I said in one of my previous videos, I said that it's really important that we don't see life or even our goals as an end destination. We have to really enjoy the journey to that end goal. It's all about the journey in it. Every time a lesson circles back and we have to go through difficult times or feel like we're being set back in whatever way, this is an opportunity for us to be able to see things with even deeper levels of awareness of ourselves and our ability to overcome things. The root cause of our negative emotions really come from a level of being impatient, to feeling like we're failures and having these external expectations of what success looks like, and then 3, not giving ourselves grace for slow results and not being fully present in the moment and enjoying the journey. Every difficult moment is adding to our treasure chest of knowledge. Like if a deal isn't going through for you at this time, just know that you're being prepared and strengthened, adding new skills and new levels of awareness for yourself to be able to carry with you. If you're on a healing journey and you feel like you're not having the level of breakthrough that you want in your healing journey, or you're having difficult staying on whatever goal that you had set for yourself, just know that you're adding to this level of deep self-awareness for yourself, that when you are actually on the other side of whatever it is, it's just a matter of you choosing to do that, because you have so many, you've gotten to know yourself so well, you know a lot of ways that don't work for you, right? Or a lot of ways that you are able to bring yourself back on track. So that's really what I wanted to kind of work on in the beginning of this video. It's just letting you guys know, like, there's a lot of ways that we fall and we feel like we're failing, but we're not. You're right on time. You are exactly where you should be. The lesson is being presented to you now. Are you open and receptive enough to understand what's being presented to you as an opportunity for growth? Like, everything that doesn't work out for you is because there's another lesson here for you to learn. And that might be a level of patience, of self-forgiveness, of objectivity, of separation, detachment from the end result, and enjoying the present moment, enjoying the grind, enjoying the hustle, enjoying the challenges that it presents to you, because you get to know yourself better. So I would always say, you know, whatever difficult time you're going through, that this is actually a seasoning for your character. This is a seasoning for your soul's development too. So be very conscientious of how you talk to yourself, and the way in which you see the conflicts that are being presented to you in life. If you feel like your identity is somewhere separate than the end goal that you really want, well, then let's work on the identity. So for example, like if you feel like you're having a really hard time just staying on a diet plan that you want, we have to really shift your identity, take an objective step back and say, hey, okay, actually, I'm being presented with an opportunity to see myself and my own habits and be more self-aware of the things that trigger me. I'm also aware of the environments that are not good for me. I'm also aware of the ways in which I don't actually set up a conducive and proper way for me to stick to this diet. Whatever it may be, it's a moment for you to reflect. Instead of being lost and feeling lost, you only feel lost when you're deep in it. But if you're able to take a step back, and this also comes with developing a meditation practice, when you're able to look at yourself a little bit more objectively and detached from any sort of heavy and intense emotions, you're able to see yourself and the situation a little bit more clearly than when you're every day just living in it, right? And I think that's a lot of times what we do, and the lesson just keeps coming back. The lesson keeps coming back around because we haven't figured out how to see it from a loving and objective space before. We just keep feeling like we're being thrown in the middle of it. So like I said, if it's with your business, or if it's with your health, or if it's with relationships, you feel like you told yourself you didn't want to keep doing a certain thing when it came to your friendships or your relationships or your work, your colleagues or your coworkers or whatever it is, but you find yourself being pulled back into these cyclical lessons. Well, this is an opportunity, especially if you found this video. If you're watching this video right now, you are exactly where you should be as far as your own development of your self-awareness. You are looking for answers. You're looking for ways to overcome some of the things that have been keeping you trapped in a cycle, maybe for months, days, years even sometimes. So I want to say that I'm proud of you and that you got this. Tip number 1 is give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. You ain't never did this before. You are right on time, okay? So if anytime you feel like you're overwhelmed or that you ain't never, because you ain't never did this before. You ain't never did this before, okay? So as far as I'm aware, there's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. You only have this now moment. So be very, very loving and graceful with yourself, and know that this lesson was divinely sent to you at this time in life to be able to see it from a new level of awareness. Okay, so I'm very proud of you. Give yourself grace for constantly searching for answers, for being open and receptive to new energy. You might be the trailblazer in your family. You might be the first person doing this in your family. So you got to give yourself a lot of love and a lot of patience when you're trying to go somewhere that you ain't never been before. And I'm very proud of you. This is a testament and a measurement of your own heart. It takes a lot for an individual to want better for themselves. So even if you find this video right now, the fact that you're looking for ways to overcome difficulty, you're looking for answers that are already here for you, you know exactly what it is. Maybe it's a slowing down. Maybe it's a removal of a certain person, place, or thing. Maybe it's setting more boundaries. Maybe you need to develop a meditation practice. Maybe you need to find your breath. Maybe you need to drink or eat more hydrating food. Whatever it is, to ground yourself back into why is it that you want that goal. The answers will come to you, especially if you sit with yourself and you take the time to really pour into yourself and understand why and how you got to this place of resistance. And then knowing that you are the divine creator of your reality. So everything is overcome when you decide that it is. So tip number 2 that I have here is shifting your focus and rebalancing out your life. I think sometimes when we're trying to get to a certain end destination or a goal that we have in our life, we are trying to plow through, or even we are on our journey and it starts to get difficult. We don't know how to maintain whatever it is. I think that we just either become so consumed that we give up on it, or we get really down on ourselves and we keep trying to make it work, and now we're hitting a burnout, we're hitting a wall with it. Have a level of detachment for the things that you want out of life. You cannot choke it and expect it to thrive, right? You cannot suffocate it. Fire needs air, right? So you got to be able to let it breathe so that it can flourish. Take a step back. If you feel like, for example, it's a health thing and you're really trying to push through, but give yourself grace. Go ahead and walk back the super restrictive diet and go ahead and implement and give yourself a moment to appreciate balance. It's balance. Everything is balance, right? Or if it's your business, if you feel like you've been just chugging away at business and you're putting in your best effort at work and it's just not turning out, okay, take a step back, take a deep breath, and add in more dimension to it. Is there a way that you can switch up your environment? Is there a way that you can show up differently to the job, to whatever task that needs to be done? In what ways can you add dimension to this job to where it doesn't feel like you're trying to make it work so much, right? How can you release a little bit of expectation from the outcome to let your desire manifest, to let it show up for you? And that's one thing. I had somebody in my life was putting in offers on deals, and the deals were just not going through for one reason or another outside of their control. And it felt like, it can be so disheartening if you feel like you're giving your best effort, but everything around you is just not working out. This is an opportunity for you to even assess your own subconscious beliefs about why you're entering into this deal, what energy you're giving off, right? And also what deadline you're working on. Whose expectations are you trying to fulfill? Are these expectations that are truly yours? Are they realistic? Are they loving? Just being very graceful with yourself in the way that you operate in your life, making sure that you're not burning yourself out expecting beautiful results. Well, you got to let things breathe. Like I said, air needs fire, or fire needs air. So you got to let things breathe and let things be really fluid. And also be very aware that you are now in the unknown. Be very receptive to how things come. You never know the ways in which things are going to be delivered to you. So it's very important that when you're on a journey, you are in the black. You don't know how it's going to be delivered to you. So open up, be receptive to how things may present themselves to you, and be fluid in how you get to the end destination. Everything is about the journey. Okay, and the third thing that I really wanted to focus on, especially when we're shifting into a more of a positive frame in our difficult times, is the perspective and the self-concept that we hold about ourselves and our life. You should really understand that you are in an upward trajectory always, even on a soul level. You are definitely on an upward trajectory in life in general. So give yourself grace when you're spinning, okay? Just know that the lessons come to you in a very unique and particular way to you, and only you will be able to really understand why certain themes are showing up for you, how you can take those and alchemize it into something that's usable and transformative for you in your life. You have to make sure that your self-concept is very, very strong, that the way that you see yourself, you are a divine, earthly representation of God, that everything always works out for you. You cannot, if you have anything less than that mindset, you will always face difficulty feeling like it's really taken from you or it's getting to you as a person. But no, these are all just things, and we're playing in creation, and whatever the lesson is here for you to grow from. And you got to see the world as a place that fosters your growth, not something that's going to take from you or anything like that. And if you feel like you're finding yourself in situations where it's just a lot of negativity, well, it starts within. So develop a meditation practice, sit with yourself and know, and take an objective look at everything around you, and just know that, okay, like, and then become a deliberate creator of your reality. How do you want these situations to play out? If you are, for example, experiencing a struggle, sit in your meditation and imagine it working out. Visualization is going to be your strongest and your best friend when it comes to reprogramming your subconscious mind into having everything work out for you. I'm so not kidding. So I wanted to give you guys 2 practical tips that will help you actually get from maybe a deep inside of whatever difficulty that you're experiencing to the other side of more of a neutral and creative space in your life, to where you can decide for yourself what the next steps are. The first thing, especially if you're dealing with some diet or health issues, I know for me personally, I've been on a raw vegan diet, trying to heal some of my issues that I've been experiencing throughout my life. And when I'm having a really difficult time, feeling like, dang, like I'm just not where I want to be, or things are really difficult, breath work, taking a deep belly breath, going to be really good for your nervous system. And that is one of the biggest tips I will have, is to regulate and calm your nervous system. But deep belly breathing is good for your digestive system, your nervous system, your overall, all of your organs, and also is a life force that helps balance and alkalize the body as well. Taking that time to just breathe will really, really, really transform the way that you feel and help you think more clearly. The second thing I will say, especially related to diet and health issues, is body scan. Our body scientifically has a few different energy centers that can be measured. And so some people call them chakras. That's more of a Eastern philosophy, Eastern spirituality term. But if you want to just call them energy centers, feeling where you feel this tense emotions, whether it be in your root center, down in the base of your spine, if your lower back area, that could be related towards your family and your money and your worldly identity, your tribe, your community, stuff like that. If you're feeling a lot of pain, or you feel it in your feet, or you feel it in your legs, like the lower part of your body, those are going to be the things that are related to the root chakra, right? Root type of issues. So I would really recommend that you just get really aware of the energy centers and their purposes. Maybe it's more of your creative space. You're feeling like you're not flowing, you're not creating enough, you're not even, it's your sexual energy too. Maybe you're having blockages in that kind of way. And that's going to be your sexual organs. It's going to be the color orange, where your root is red, and your family, tribe, ego, identity. With your solar plex is more so your identity, but it's your determination, it's your willpower, it's your strength, it's your digestive system. So if you're having issues related to food or things like that, really, really put some intention, especially in your meditation practice, on visualizing the color yellow and saying affirmations like, I am strong, I am determined, I love to be seen, I feel safe, and stuff like that. With your solar plex, heart center is going to be the color green. Are you feeling like you're slouching over a lot, or you feel like you're having issues with love in your life, or attraction or abundance and things like that nature, things of that nature, I would really say really focus on the heart space and visualizing the color green and just imagining that color green radiating out of you and coming back in just as this big green aura all around you in your meditation practice. Maybe it's your throat chakra. Maybe you're not speaking up enough, or you feel like you've been having bad communication with people, or you're not knowing what the right thing is to say or to do, or you're stuff like that. And it's blue. It's your throat space. Maybe it's your up here. You're having a lot of headaches. You don't really know. You're not having a lot of clarity in life, or things of that nature. That's the color purple. So if visualize that color and just saying those affirmations like, I'm divinely guided. I know I'm full of knowledge, and I know what the right thing is for me to do, things of that nature. And then your crown chakra, your crown space, like if you're feeling like you're not really connected to God or the divine, or if you feel like you're really shut off from things outside of yourself, and that also goes to your heart and your root too. So all of your energy centers together, make sure you're doing those conscious body scans with yourself and saying like, okay, whatever blockage I'm going through right now, where do I feel it? Like it? So if it's with your money, you're having frustrations at work, you're like I feel this, like I feel uneasy, I feel unsafe. Well, let's go back to our root, right? Our finances, or maybe it's our willpower, our identity, and our solar plex, and our digestive, our this center of our body, our emotional body, stuff like that. Just being really conscientious of where you feel those energies, and then affirmations associated, and then using affirmations to associate and transform whatever negative emotions. And it's not to say that you can't acknowledge these negative emotions. The negative emotions are your greatest guidance to what feels good. Okay, they let you know like, hey, this isn't for you, and that helps you get to a place of feeling good, not in a hedonistic way. We're not running from negativity. Like I said, we're not only chasing positive emotions, but I think as creative beings, as I think our natural state of being is love and is of goodness. I think that's source energy. So just taking that energy and saying, okay, like let me get back to good. So let me reprogram whatever thought I have in my mind, wherever I'm feeling this tension in my body. Make sure that I'm taking that deep breath, sitting with myself in silence, and then using that energy to transform it into something that you want, that you actually putting your focus on your true desire. And then hydration. I will always recommend tea, juice, water, whatever your thing is, but definitely hydrate your body. Especially when we're frustrated, I feel like any type of intense emotions in the body is energy that needs to be expressed, or there's a lack of fluidity in our body, okay? So I would always recommend taking some time to make yourself a nice cup of tea, iced tea, hot tea, whatever you need at the moment. Just hydrate your body and stay in the state of hydration. When you start to be dehydrated, you start to act dehydrated, and that's not cool. That's not cool, okay? And then the second practical tip, so those were all related to just being mindful in your body, but the second one I wanted to really emphasize is imagine your end scene completed. So this goes into your meditation practice. Whatever the difficulty is that you're experiencing right now, take the time to sit with yourself and reimagine the outcome that you would have liked, or the intention of how that looks in the future. And just also with that, taking the same practice from earlier, saying, okay, this is how I feel in my body when things are good. Okay, when my end goal is realized, when it's manifested, when it's actually here in the 3D with me. Because the truth is, the end goals, all of creation's already finished, right? So your manifestations, your goals are already done. It's just the fact that it's a matter of you tuning in to the reality that you want, and how much focus and attention you can place on your end goal being here with you physically. So it's just a matter of how good you are at that, okay? And the more you focus on it, the quicker it arrives, okay? So because your desires need you to be manifested in the 3D. They need your attention to be manifested here. That's a Neville Goddard, I believe that's a Neville Goddard concept. But your reality, your desires crave you. They need you to give them your attention for them to be manifested here in this reality. So go ahead and give them that attention. Put your full attention in your meditation practice to say, this is how I feel, this is what I want, and release the way that it delivers itself to you. Release the expectations of yourself, of others, and just be very, very receptive to how things come to you. Trust in the bridge of incidents, right? I think that's also a Neville Goddard concept, is just however things synchronize into your life, trust that it's divinely on its way. You placed your order and the package is on its way. And yeah, I think with these levels of mindfulness, hopefully these tips have been helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching to the end of today's video. I hope that this message resonated with you and that something has been helpful for you in this video. If it has been, let me know down below what you think, or what practices that you feel would be most helpful for you. Or right now, if you are experiencing difficulty or a hard time on your healing journey, feeling a little bit impatient, a little bit unsettled, and you're waiting on something, let me down below. Where do you feel that in your body? What practices are you going to implement to help rebalance yourself and get back on the right track? If you want to learn more about the art of showing up for yourself and how to live an intentional life, watch this video next. Bye.